I'll go. We'll go together.
Like
Amazon women.
Yeah,
we are.
Yeah, I guess
Strong women.
Strong. Light warriors.
So, yeah, I I'm sure about that. So you now tell me about you.
Okay, I'm introduced.
How on earth did you arrive here? From all places you could have gone.
It's mind blowing. I don't know.
Something.
It's what. So it's interesting. One thing it makes me think about is the Abraham Hicks law of attraction thing.
We know her as well.
And so that when we are I keep envisioning what it is that I'm creating, what I'm committed to doing, which is creating this documentary series about intentional communities. And don't ask how it's going to happen, but just go and follow my heart. And it was interesting because I didn't want, so I came here to Cluj because my friend Daniel, who I met at the Metamorphosis gathering in Costa Rica, because I was following my heart there to visit communities, told me about coming to Romania and how beautiful it is and all the earth chakras and the hot springs and all this. And so when I was planning my trip, because my friend was getting married in Switzerland, I said, okay, I want to come visit. He said, okay, I'm sitting a 10-day Vipassana course from the 9th to the 19th. So I said, okay, I'll do that. And then, I figured I shouldn't arrive on, the 8th in Romania. I'm going to give myself a few extra days. And so then I told him that I was coming here, and he said, oh, I'm going to the Untold Festival. You have to come to the Untold Festival. It's amazing. 400,000 people, right?
Yeah, it's crazy, actually.
So I was like, oh, okay, all right, I'll go to that. But I had booked my flight to arrive on the 2nd. So I was already missing one day. And then he wasn't able to he thought he was going to get me a free ticket, and then that didn't happen. And so then he finally bought me a ticket, but it was $140 and kind of more than I want to spend because I get paid to go to festivals. So
usually
I don't, not into, I only like really working now at festivals. I like to be part of what's happening. So he got me the ticket, and he said, oh, but there's no place, the camping is sold out. There's no place for you to stay. So then he said, oh, but I'll look on the Untold page and I'll see if anybody's posting. So he looked up and he found Tatiana.
Yeah.
Little did we know.
Yeah.
And then we messaged, and I saw her profile, and she's a life coach, and I saw beautiful family pictures and stuff like that like of them at festivals, her and her daughter, I think. And so I just was immediately excited to come, but I had no idea that I was coming to a beautiful, brand new, in such a beautiful environment with such beautiful views, place with community.
Yeah, actually, exactly.
Like-minded.
Yeah, this is a main part that I remember when you entered the room. We were here talking and actually establishing, about our have to do this, have to build that. And you entered the room, it was like, boom! And it was like, oh! And you remember, I said like, oh, this is something, and I really like you for the first month. And then she said, she is a clown and she worked in the theater, and then she's like, wow, this is amazing, and you look gorgeously. And I said, okay, I want to do that as well. I want to do something like that. But then again, only today, now talking about like what happens and what you like to do, and it was like, oh, now I understand why you're here. And actually, yeah, we needed somebody to come and
Well,
to
and
share a bit.
how amazing it is that I just came from the Gen training of trainers to learn how to facilitate and consult
A
with
big community.
ego
Yeah,
movements
exactly.
communities. I mean,
You had the answer of our questions actually. You know
what you don't know, you don't know. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, but
magic.
actually we did something very good there. And I think that the leaves and the stones and the thing that we chose, I don't know if you recorded something about that, but it brought a lot of understanding and a lot of exactly what you said, narrowing down. Because usually you say, yeah, everything is important and all those are extraordinary. But if you divide your attention in so many points, actually you don't have any energy left and not
Yeah.
any focus and something like that. So
It was wonderful. I wish I had recorded all of it, but we'll do another game with Tatiana and Miriam and some other people.
Everybody.
Whoever is involved, and do it more.
yeah,
It'll be really fun too.
But-
And it's nice also that now you guys are familiar. You'll know like the setup and the process and be able to support. Then we can really get
but we
into-
already have clearer ideas. At least I have some like, oh, okay, this is what we have to do, or this is we are good at that, or we have to implement this one. Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, a lot of clarity.
And it's very good because you said about the eco villages and things like that, and they have education and they have schools. And I remember myself when I used to live in Bali, Indonesia, and my daughter used to attend the green school in Bali, and it's kind of exactly eco village and things like that. Okay, this is a famous school and kind of everybody knows about it. But then when I came home in Romania, I discovered there is another school here, grade school in Romania, that actually they are building in their own way. And as I said, if you want, we are going to meet the founder, Sonia, and they are building community and they are looking. But I think that this is a major trend, and I saw it, and actually I saw it happening a lot in the States instead. Now also some other centers in Europe are opening up. But this is, this is becoming the mainstream. This is becoming, the new or the future way of doing things.
Yes.
It's not only, okay, you are doing your business and me, I'm doing mine, and everybody. But we cannot work if we don't have the common purpose and the higher purpose. And if we don't take care of everybody around us, and the more like spreading, we have to find other bases, we have to find another foundation, we have to pay more attention about our
Yeah, absolutely. There's two things I'm thinking when you're saying this. Is one, I'll say the second thought I had first, which was the interconnect. What I hear you talking about is the interconnectedness of all things. We have to recognize in our new paradigm that everything is interconnected, and we have to honor that and respect and pay attention to that. And then the other thing was that it's the Buckminster Fuller quote about, if you want to create a new paradigm, don't destroy the old one, just create the new one.
Make it seem obsolete
And let it be
Yeah.
obsolete. Yeah,
And,
exactly.
Yeah, no, but I don't think that also today nobody's intention is bad. Nobody wakes up in the morning saying, I'm going to be the worst person ever or do the worst thing in the world. But actually, some people are really not paying enough attention. But more and more tribes or circles I saw all over the world trying again to also build community, to make the things work in a new way, in a more not only friendly, but with more respect and with more care of human beings,
Mm.
of nature, of everything that we have around us. And
Yeah.
you have to know more about that, because you started this
I mean,
documentary and you've been through different other
it's
communities.
only a few, and I'm really just like, I know this much, you know what I mean? But I am learning, and it's very exciting. I'm definitely excited to share.
I think that you already are knowing the main part of it because
Mm.
you see where to go. And in this world, if you really let yourself, it's right
Mm.
here, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you just let your heart
Mm-hmm.
guide you, actually, you are going to go exactly in the places where you are the most needed and you can have the biggest impact ever. Yes?
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you. I love it.
Yeah.
I feel the truth of it, and I feel
Yeah.
the acknowledgement of from you, like, and that it's like being held and supported, and yet at the same time, like, given wings. Like the mother bird who's having the baby go fly. You're right. It's like, yes,
Yeah, exactly.
go. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
There was something we were going to talk about, a couple of other things, but also I'm getting very curious about Mihai's questions, and I kind of want to. So I don't know. Do you want to talk about Agile, because you mentioned the green school, and so there's the Agile green school that you were sharing with me about, and then there was another thing.
We're
the
women's circle of trust.
Yes.
Yeah, we can say that. Do you have questions for us right now?
Not at this
Not
point,
yet.
no.
We'll do this first. Okay, so tell us about the Agile Green School.
Okay, so I was saying that coming from.
Wait 1 second. I'm gonna just close this thing because it bothers me. And then I don't know. I turned that light on, but I don't think it does anything. Oh God, the sky! Look at the view in the back. It's gorgeous. Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
So I was saying when I came here, because actually I have been living abroad for 30 years. Yeah, I'm that young. And given that my daughter attended the green school in Bali, right? And I've heard about this green school in Romania and Cluj. It's like, really? I want to go and meet that person. So I had this wonderful experience with Sonia, and she's the co-founder of Green School, and she has been a student and PhD and master and learner and for all her life, right? But she built this school, again, another special lady who built a school out of nowhere just because she wanted to do education, because she loves education and she is very skilled, but in a different way. She wanted to pay attention to kids. She wanted to do really the things in a different way. So she created a green school because she's connected with nature and all this stuff. So when I met her and we talked a little bit, I said, well, I've been in New York kind of 3 years ago, and I had this bootcamp training to become a facilitator of agile skills. And I said, I think you have to go and see that training because it was, in my mind, perfect for her. So we made this happen. So last year she was there, and she came completely transformed. And she completely changed everything in the school, and now she's doing the Agile Green School. And what she has different from other school that she already is working using the Agile methods with small children. Meanwhile, for example, In the States, they are working with kids from 7 above.
Mhm.
She started already to apply the agile tools on 40-year-old, 50-year-old,
Mhm.
5 years old, and
Mhm.
things like that. And
So tell us again about what the the style of learning is.
agile is wonderful. I mean, agile was actually happening at the beginning with Toyota and General Motors.
Mhm.
So very shortly when Toyota was doing awesomely and General Motors were really bad and fights, union trade and workers and managers and everything like that. And Toyota wanted to enter the state market, and but we didn't want to build the production unit and the
Right.
whole establishment and things like that. And because General Motors were about to close and union trades were, obliging them to keep some workers because they really sent home thousands of them.
Yeah.
So people from, Toyota said, okay, we are coming, we are going to do that and use your people, keep them to work, but you have to do everything our way.
Mhm.
So what very briefly the way was is like before in General Motors nobody could stop the unit of production, because just 1 minute of stopping the line would create massive expenses and whatever. And while you were having the engines noise through in front of you, you just observe that something didn't work and you put a little sticker. And at the end of the day, you could find a lot of engines with,
Yeah.
full of stickers and things like that.
Yeah.
When Toyota came, they said, no, you observe something, you stop the line. At the beginning, everybody was like, don't do that,
Yeah.
No, you do that. So everybody stopped the line and checked and changed everything right on the spot, and everybody was changing. Yes, at the end of the day, you have less cars, but everything was perfect and perfectly working. One worker, for example, asked for a new tool and he designed it and everything, and then he went to the manager. Next day, everybody was using the same tool. This is really like a small story to say what when they applied this little philosophy in schools, they said that the user, the child, the worker knows exactly what he or she needs.
Mhm.
You don't have, there to be and you do that and you do that because everybody, learning is a natural process happening all the time.
Yeah.
And,
And we know what we need.
exactly,
Yeah.
but even if, it takes massive effort for you to go out on the street
Mhm.
and come home with nothing learned from that day.
Right.
Try
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Because even if you encounter
Yeah. Anything.
whomever or do
Everything.
whatever or talk or just be in a place or observe or whatever, you are learning something. So learning is a natural process happening all the time. The user, the child in the school case slash the worker in the factory knows exactly what they need, and you as manager slash teacher facilitator, you just have to be there for him and support him in the way and at the purpose they really want, they really need. Okay, so you have to provide the rich environment
Mhm.
and the safety net and things like that for learning to happen because learning will happen,
Mhm.
right? So she applied all the methods. She was there to do the training. She just maintained all the connections. And this summer, 1 month ago, we had a training here in Cluj with people coming from abroad, and we had like more 30 people, now ready to go and apply the agile method in either the schools. We had regular teachers from state schools, to, you know, freelancers, because actually this is that you can apply from household to the school in whatever learning environment. No? So this is happening in Cluj as well. I mean, we are really a very small town, but if you look at the things happening here, it seems like,
Yeah,
you know,
awakening explosion.
oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's happening.
All over. Oh, so would it be? Okay, and then do you want to talk about the women's circle?
Yeah.
I want to interrupt though. I don't know how, because I just wanted to say, going back to like how I came to be here.
Yeah.
And the fact, and what you were saying to me about following my heart, and just how like going to the festival, like one would think, yeah, it's a great thing, it would be fun to go. It's lots of great music and stuff like that. But there was just something very clear for me that I was like, no, it's not.
Another festival.
It doesn't call me.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's very clear now why, So
yeah, I think exactly that the more we talk, the more things unfold for us, the more we are going to understand how this will come into shape. And this is cool.
Yeah.
Your call? Any question for us?
Questions? Yeah. We're almost getting to that point where we're ready for your questions. So.
Okay, so you both share a vast experience in life. You've both traveled a lot and met many people with great stories. I'm interested in your stories. How did things unfold now when you look in the past? How did things unfold for you so that you got here in this very moment together? Because you come from two completely different backgrounds with two completely different experiences, with two completely different stories. How did those connect and brought you here?
Yeah. Boy, that's like, what was the question I asked you yesterday about what your background in marketing was, or something, how you came to be here. So a little bit about my history, I can say that my parents were both hippies, and my dad much more than my mom. My mom had come from more of a conservative background, but then when they came together, she was on a spiritual path of study. And so they met at this place called the Meatless Mess Hall, and they were doing Gurdjieff Fourth Way work. Are you familiar with that? So that's how they met. And then my dad was in a spiritual brotherhood in the 70s called the Source family.
Oh, wow.
Which is the Source.
The Source, center. Exactly,
yeah.
Exactly.
And so they had a conscious conception. They took mushrooms and conceived me with the intention of creating
life.
Yeah. And so I was raised with, very kind of like universalist spiritual belief systems, studying Western mysteries, Kabbalah and Tarot.
Okay.
Through an organization called the Builders of the Atom. And so I was raised with the esoteric teachings. And then when I was 19, there was a yoga studio down the street from my house, Shivananda, and I did yoga. I signed up for a 1-year pass, so I did yoga every day for a year, and then was volunteering also to, be part of the community there and get a discount. And so then after that year, I took a yoga teacher training. And then I went to college at UC Santa Barbara and got a bachelor's degree in dramatic art, and stopped doing any yoga and stuff. And then when I was going to school there, though, I got introduced to Vipassana. In 2006, I did my first Vipassana course. And then, yeah, I mean, I guess I felt compelled to kind of give my spiritual background of what my study has been, to bring me here. And then a lot of other personal growth and development work, Landmark, and something called Landmark Worldwide has a division called the Wisdom area of courses. And so now I'm participating in that. And there's things like what I'm in right now. It's very wonderful support. It's called Inquiry Explorations.
Okay.
And it's there's weekly phone calls